Today we are talking DC news, and yeah, I'm a comic book movie fan. Whether it's DC, Marvel, even Sony, I find these movies very entertaining. And now streaming shows, as we're in the age of streaming. And today we're going to focus on three topics DC related, and I'm calling this the good, the bad, and the ugly DCEU version because there was quite a bit of updates last week regarding some highly anticipated DC projects. One I did not see coming, and I can't wait to talk about that. In fact, that's going to be our first topic. Let's start with the good, right? Let's start with the positives first. If we're going to do good, bad, and ugly, let's start with the good. And the good comes from the Hollywood Reporter, and they're saying Joker 2, Lady Gaga in early talks to join Joaquin Phoenix in musical sequel. Okay, hold on here. A lot to digest just in this exclusive update from the Hollywood Reporter. Lady Gaga in talks, early talks, to join Joker 2, which they're calling a musical sequel. First off, I did not think a sequel to Joker was happening. Okay, it's 2022. Joker came out in 2019, was made for under $100 million, made over $1 billion at the box office. Joaquin Phoenix won Best Lead Actor for playing the Joker. This should have been an announcement we got 2 years ago, immediately after the Oscar win, or immediately after the movie grossed $1 billion. But 3 years later, it finally happened. We finally got the announcement. And for a while, I was starting to lose faith in the possibility of a sequel. Warner Brothers, that now Warner Brothers Discovery, but at the time, they had no idea what the hell they're doing. The early signs of the Warner Brothers Discovery is very promising, but let's wait and see. So who is Lady Gaga playing? Well, the director, Todd Phillips, when he made the announcement, I believe 2 weeks ago, as of this recording, June 19th, he included a caption in French that basically hints toward two people sharing a mental illness. Now, when you think of two people, mental illness, Joker, and Harley Quinn, if they're going for a musical direction, and I'll get to the musical for Joker 2, Lady Gaga is a pretty fucking great choice. Okay, think about the last two movies that she was in. House of Gucci, which got a lot of great reviews regarding her performance, and Bradley Cooper's directorial debut, A Star is Born. She also received a lot of praise from critics. She is more than capable as an actress in playing a character like Harley Quinn. And then the music side of it, we all know Lady Gaga can sing. Okay, she is big time. I believe she's an Oscar winning actress for her work on A Star is Born. And so there's that as well. As far as the direction of where they're going, I am a fan of this casting. I think Lady Gaga would be a great choice. Now, as for the musical part, yeah, it's a war zone right now in on film Twitter. Mostly people who are against this idea. They're against the idea of a Joker sequel, period. And I've already given my thoughts on that. I think financially it makes a lot of sense. Creatively, I think there is a lot of curiosity from, at least from myself. Like, I want to see if there was a story, an idea that excites Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix enough to come back and do another. I mean, that's enough for me. They have my vote of confidence after the first movie. But a lot of people seem to not be on board with the whole musical I part of it. Um, There's something about this. First off, okay, those of you who are completely against the idea, I doubt you're thinking outside of the box. Okay, we've seen a lot of Batman and Joker in the last 12 years since The Dark Knight. Okay, we've had many iterations, both in live action, comics, on TV, animated, so on and so forth. Do we really want to see more of the same? Or if they're going to do another iteration of these characters, to do something fresh, something even experimental? I say yes. And something like a musical is something I did not see coming. Can it be done? A musical? Well, we're talking about Joaquin Phoenix here, okay? The man played Johnny Cash, the man in black, Walk the Line, if you've ever seen that movie. He can sing. Joaquin Phoenix, he can sing. Yes. Johnny Cash was not an easy real life figure to portray, and Joaquin Phoenix did an incredible job. Movie directed by James Mangold. I highly recommend it. So he can sing. What about dancing? Right? It's a musical. There's going to be some dancing choreography. I would think we saw that in the last Joker movie. Remember that bathroom scene where he, after spoiler, it's been 3 years, but after Joker kills the bullies on the train and locks himself in a bathroom and then starts, dancing. And it's that incredible scene of him just in his zone, starting to become the Joker. And then, of course, who can forget when he finally suits up and has the paint and he's dancing on the stairs to Rock and Roll Part Two. Um, One of the best scenes in any comic book movie where he's just dancing and fully embraced the Joker and the insanity and whatnot. So, yes, this can work. Joaquin Phoenix can sing, he can dance. Todd Phillips and him directed the hell out of this first movie. It was a phenomenon. It was a critical darling. It grossed over $1 billion. Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn absolutely works. She can sing, she can dance, she can do it all. The soundtrack for this movie is gonna be amazing. Okay, this I can only imagine right now um, what Lady Gaga what ideas she has with a character like Harley Quinn and a character like Joker. All of you should at least be curious about this. See what they got in store. If you're not interested after, the first trailer, assuming this movie gets made and whatnot, you don't have to watch it. You could even wait till HBO Max to watch it. But I am so excited about this news. That is the good. Joker 2, Lady Gaga in early talks to join Joaquin Phoenix in the musical sequel. You guys, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think about this? There's a lot of controversy. I mean, that's nothing new with the comic book movie genre. I mean, it's whether it's a casting, a movie, or something, whatever. You just fans are more often than not up in the air about stuff, and it's been proven that time and time again, fans sometimes don't know what they want. And that's on both sides. So I'm certainly excited about it. I'm there opening night. Lady Gaga, I love you, and this could be something special. Okay, so we did the good. Now let's go to the bad. Let's wait on the ugly. Okay, let's go to the bad. And the bad is Amber Heard and her situation with whether or not she's going to play Mira still. There's been reports that she has been cut from Aquaman 2, which is scheduled to release next year. But then now there's reports that may not be the case. This comes from Variety. Amber Heard not fired from Aquaman 2 despite viral report which came out I think days after her lawsuit with Johnny Depp finally wrapped. And according to them and Amber Heard's reps, she is still involved in Aquaman 2 in some capacity. I've heard reports that, her involvement in the movie, her scenes have been heavily cut And as of right now, she is a part of Aquaman 2. But I highly doubt it goes anything further beyond that. This has been a mess for both Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Granted, Johnny Depp won the case, but this whole thing has just been ugly from the start. In my opinion, both of them are toxic and both of them are messed up in the head. You can pick whatever side you want. That's not what this is about. I'm focusing on Amber Heard and Aquaman 2 and her playing the Mira character. Now, during the time of um, the hearings that were being played on YouTube, I was in isolation for 11 days with COVID. And so I had a lot of time on my hands, and I did watch some of that. And when DC Films president Walter Hamada testified, he said that in the post production of the first movie, where they're editing the movie together and adding music and stuff like that, it took a lot from the filmmakers to make the chemistry between Amber Heard and Jason Momoa work and make it look as good as it did. He stands by their chemistry was not good. And so if that's the case, then why bring her back for Aquaman 2? Well, the movie did gross over $1 billion. In fact, it was the first DC movie since The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises to gross over $1 billion. So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? At least that's from what we knew at the time when a sequel was announced. It made sense for Amber Heard to come back as Mira, right? I was a fan of her portrayal as a character. I thought she did a good job, but Warner Brothers Discovery is not trying to have all this extra baggage onto one of their big franchises here. Okay, we'll get to Ezra Miller in a second, but we're talking about Amber Heard right now. Should she continue playing Mira in the Aquaman franchise? I wouldn't mind if she played Mira in Aquaman 2. Um, However, in the interest of seeing a character like Aquaman, fully flourish without any sorts of baggage or anything, I don't think she will be playing Mira in Aquaman 3. Whether you agree with that or not, Warner Brothers Discovery kind of feels the same way. There are a lot of people in the general audience, okay, because the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing was like must see. It was the talk of the town. The general audience, if they see Amber Heard in the trailers and the marketing, that's probably not going to sit well. So Warner Bros. Discovery has to think about their investment. So I highly doubt Amber Heard comes back for Aquaman 3. That leads to question who plays Mira in Aquaman 3 because you don't leave a character like that on the sidelines. Now that she definitely has a presence in the DCEU, she is a big time female character amongst DC Comics. A lot of people are rooting for Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones, Daenerys, to play Mira. And that's mainly because Emilia Clarke and Jason Momoa were huge in Game of Thrones, right? Everybody who watched that movie, for the most part, shipped them and wanted to see them, conquer Westeros together. Um, I mean, is Emilia Clarke the right choice for Mira? Is she the best choice? I doubt it. I think there are others who can be in contention for that role. None come to mind, but I've thought about it a couple of times, over the past couple of months as this lawsuit thing has been getting ugly. And there are people out there. I just can't think of any right now. You guys let me know. Who would you recast to play Mira? Who would you cast? Let me know your thoughts down below. That's the bad. And, we'll see where it goes, how they handle Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom expected to release next year, I believe, during the second quarter. And we'll see how things turn out. But let's get to the ugly. And boy, this is only getting uglier and uglier by the week, it feels like. This report comes from Deadline, fresh off the latest Ezra Miller incident. And Ezra Miller is the actor who is playing the Flash in the upcoming Flash movie. He's also in the Fantastic Beasts franchise as Credence. But Deadline is saying Zaslav's first movie crisis. What to do with Ezra Miller, the erratic star of Warner Brothers' $200 million Flash franchise launch. This article comes, I think, days after Ezra Miller was once again in the news, where a parent filed a restraining order against Ezra Miller, protecting their kid, and the allegations are not good. You can read about it online, but this is one of several allegations against the Flash star, and it's really it's really unfortunate to see. Before I get into it, my thoughts, I want to read a little bit of the article here. And I pulled a part from the article. It reads: In Zaslav's plan to make DC an explosively successful division like Marvel under his newly structured studio with its own new boss, the non binary identifying Ezra Miller, we hear, is simply not a part of those plans going forward in the future universe, regardless if there are more allegations or not. So, sources from Warner Brothers are saying whether Ezra Miller has any more allegations or not, he is not a part of any plans going forward in the future. Now, DC is not exactly known for having a plan, unfortunately, due to poor management from the Warner Brothers executives. Are there plans right now for the Flash going forward? Well, the Flash movie is going to set up some new alternate future for DC involving Michael Keaton's Batman, Sasha Calle's Supergirl in the universe, as well as probably other characters. Ezra Miller is clear cut the star of this movie. He is likely in every other scene, if not every scene, of this movie. The trailers have shown that there are more than one version of Ezra Miller's character. So there's that as well. And so now with another allegation, there's the what I call $300 million question. What does Warner Brothers do with this movie? It's not an easy answer. And those of you who are saying just trash the movie or put it on HBO Max, shelve it, whatever. You guys seem to forget. Warner Brothers, I'm sorry, no, Discovery purchased Warner Media from AT&T, who was already in debt by around $43 billion. Discovery inherited that. When the merger happened, they became Warner Brothers Discovery, $43 billion in debt. They need this movie. You really want to put $300, just throw it away to satisfy whoever is highly against this movie. That is a stupid financial decision. All due respect, that is a stupid choice. Okay, you are $43 billion in debt. You got a movie that's mostly shot, a movie featuring Michael Keaton, who's already confirmed in other DC projects beyond the Flash. It just from creatively and financially, it makes no sense. They need this movie. You do not want, regardless of the circumstances, whether it's David Zaslav's fault or not. David Zaslav is the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery. He does not want his first big budget movie, event movie, The Flash, to be a dud. This movie needs to hit. It needs to hit with general audiences. They need to go out and see it. I am going to go out and see it. Um, if anything, for Ben Affleck's Batman, Michael Keaton's Batman, uh, to see where the universe goes from here. And it's just it's a very tricky situation for Warner Brothers Discovery. I certainly do not envy them right now with this. It's pretty ugly. My hope, and in the article they hope the same thing as well. They mentioned it, is that the Ezra Miller allegations die down. They die down because it's a long time between the release of the Flash movie. I think it's June 2023, almost about a year from now. The general audience will likely forget about this as opposed to something like Amber Heard, where that lawsuit was in the mainstream media, in the news, all that kind of stuff. Something like this, I feel like the general audience will largely forget if they even know about it, honestly. We know about it, you and I, because we follow up on these movie news. We like the updates. We love the conversation, the discourse. Um, so there's that. Warner Brothers is crossing their fingers. Now, if all goes well as can be, and Ezra Miller lies low, is in very little of the press tour. It's a lot of Michael Keaton. It's a lot of Sasha Kaye. Maybe one or two interviews with Ezra Miller and whatnot. Does it mean if the Flash is a hit, Ezra Miller comes back as the Flash? I don't have that answer for you because I don't have all the information regarding the allegations. I certainly see what's reported, but then I see the parents who filed the restraining order against Ezra Miller to protect their child, who is 18, I believe. The 18-year-old comes out and apologizes and, um, you know, uh, is very critical of the parents for even going overboard and doing something like that and blowing this whole thing out of proportion. With these allegations, there's questions to be asked, whether it's Ezra Miller and his drama at the bar in Hawaii. For anyone who does their research of that bar in Hawaii, they're very, very racial, very conservative. They do not like outsiders. They certainly do not like anybody LGBTQ related. Um, so I there's a reason why Warner Brothers Discovery is being super quiet about this. Maybe they want it to blow away, but if these allegations keep coming up and if Ezra Miller is such a horrible person, why the hell aren't they firing him, right? What else is going on behind the scenes that we don't know about? And I dare to ask. I try not to be somebody who just takes things at face value or reads the caption or, the tweet or the comments or whatnot, and then boom, there's my opinion. I kind of like to look into these things a little bit. Call me an asshole, call me whatever names you want, whatever. It's my money. I'm going to see The Flash regardless. So they have a lot to think about. And if anybody can handle this, it's Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav, who is already making a name for himself in Hollywood with the amount of projects he's been cutting, with the amount of financial strategies that he's been explaining to us, to the media, about what he wants to do, what he wants to see Warner Brothers become, how important the DC catalog is to him. So, a lot to look forward to and see regarding this. But that's going to do it, guys. That is my the good, the bad, and the ugly DCEU version. Let me know if you like this video. Let me know if you like the conversation. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much for being patient. Again, I know I didn't put out a lot of videos on the channel. There are reasons for that, and I hope to discuss it with you soon. And thank you so much for your time and for your subscriptions. If you're not a subscriber, I invite you to do so anyway and hit that thumbs up. That like button really helps me out. And yeah, until the next video, you guys take care.